here's a challenge for our Motormouth Energy Minister, that empty vessel, Chris Bowen. If renewables really are the cheapest form of power, as he's claimed over and over again, even again today at the National Press Club, why do they still need billions in subsidies?
Our grid is almost, as I said, 40% renewable today. Renewable energy is incredibly cheap because its fuel is free, because it's the sunshine and the wind.
And if renewables really are going to form 82% of our power generation in just 6 years, what are we going to do for power when the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine, which still is about 60% of the time? And if renewables really are the cheapest form of electricity generation, as the CSIRO claims, what about adding in all the extra costs of electricity delivery and the extra costs of firming to tell the whole truth about the costs of Labor's green dream? Bowen and the Albanese government are trying to pitch the next election as a choice between electricity generation from renewables versus electricity generation from nuclear. But Opposition Leader Peter Dutton is not against renewables. He's just for nuclear power as an essential part of our energy mix if we are to get to net zero and keep the lights on. Bowen and Albanese, by contrast, stressed that the sun and the wind are free, forgetting, of course, that Chinese-made wind turbines and Chinese-made solar panels certainly aren't free, and all the extra transmission lines required for a decentralised system, well, they're not free, and all the gas needed for backup generation, well, that's not free either. If renewables are so cheap, how have power prices risen ever faster the more renewables we have? I mean, you pay your power bills, it's not getting any cheaper, is it? And if nuclear is so expensive, why do more than 30 countries have nuclear power with many, many more planning for it? Today, in what was supposed to be a coordinated hit on nuclear power, Labor's Agricultural Minister Murray Watt also claimed that nuclear power would take water away from farmers.
Nuclear energy production is a thirsty endeavour. The generation of nuclear energy requires a significant amount of water to cool the radioactive cores, a lot more water than is required for coal-fired or renewable energy.
This is pretty rich, isn't it, coming from the party that's inflicted water poverty on thousands of irrigators via water buybacks, supposedly to save the planet. And from the party that's threatening to carpet an area almost as large as the state of Victoria with wind turbines and solar panels as far as the eye can see, all in the name of saving the planet. Turbines and solar panels that create jobs in China, not jobs here, and are lucky to give us 20 years of useful life, if that. Not to mention the degradation these eyesores will inflict on our regional and rural landscape. You know, Labor's starting to get a bit desperate when Malcolm Turnbull's wheeled out, as he was again today, to attack Liberal policy and support Labor, claiming that the only people who support nuclear are on the nuttier fringe. And yet many countries, Malcolm, well, they run their power systems on nuclear, including your mates, the French. I mean, I think Macron's nutty. Well, clearly, so too do you. The truth is that no countries, not one anywhere, plan to run their electricity system pretty much exclusively on wind and solar, because that would be horrifically expensive. But that's where we are headed. So see Bowen's hyperbole for what it really is. Just more hot air and wind from a bloke who's made a career of stuffing up every portfolio he's ever had.